a player he is.
Yeah, he's not just a scorer like a lot of great players supposedly great players are. He's got great defense. He's 6'9". He's hard to deal with a lot of small forwards because he towers over them.
And even though we've seen a lot of great highlights from this guy, people don't realize he's still a young guy. He's just now entering the prime, and the sky's the limit for this guy if he can stay injury-free.
Just about time for tip-off. Let Kevin Harlan, he's got the call as we go courtside. We'll see you later.
It's a Western Conference battle here at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles as the Lakers look to work home court advantage. We're all set to bring you NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And of course, Patrick Beverley. I think we could sort of see it in his first couple games that he's really feeling out his new team.
Well, we're about to see what the buzz around the league is all about here. Is it all hype or will it be reality? We're about to find out, along with the fans in the stadium and the people watching at home.
And you can feel the excitement in here today, guys. I mean, anytime you add a player of his caliber, it is going to be a huge lift for your team.
Tip-off goes to Houston. A look at the opening lineup for the Houston Rockets. Beverley and Harden, they're the backcourt. Trevor Ariza out there with Beasley. Then it's Nene in at the 5 down low. Russell kicks to Turner. Here's Bryant. And no good, his first shot of the night, missing. For the Houston Rockets, they come in off a good outing against the Kings in Sacramento.
And Kevin, they showed how important it is to have a strong bench. I mean, when you are on the road, that depth is vital. I think they really utilized the second unit to extend their offensive assault and just really wore down their opponent.
And guys, I think what you saw from them throughout the game was teamwork. This is a team. Regardless of who was out there on the floor at any given time, they got it done. And that has to make you feel good as a group. How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Reeves it dishes to Beverley. Pass to Nene. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that. First quarter, just over a minute played.
Well, I tell you what, Nene is a man among boys now low. Remarkable physical power. He's also got a tough mentality about him. Just a real rugged individual.
And he gets it to go. On defense, the Lakers. 4-point game. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
They just weren't challenged. I mean, nearly as much as they should have been in that game, at least when they had the ball.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. I mean, the defense from the start was on its heels practically the entire game.
And it's George finishing it off.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
Here's a reason. Paul George making his last shot. Here's Harden on the wing. Defended by Bryant. Plenty of daylight on that shot.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Turner with a screen for Russell. George passes to Whiteside. Shot clock at 6. And there's Bryant. That's good on the assist by Turner. Bryant's got his first 2 points of the night.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
And continuing to expand his arsenal last season, Patrick Beverley, the guard for the Rockets. Career highs in assists and rebounds per game, and he's one of the smallest guys on the floor.
Yeah, and he's really working on the details of becoming a better playmaker, becoming a guy that has coaches trust him to handle the basketball in those crucial situations.
Now, here is Russell. A good portion of the scoring has come from him. He averages more than 18 points a game. Back to Turner. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and a nasty jam.
There's PG creating for a teammate. Terrific dime drop.
Rockets trail by 7.
You know, talking about Beverly, his wrist injury really changed things for the Rockets at the end of last season. Suddenly, 37-year-old Jason Terry had to take on big minutes at the point, and he was serviceable, but they missed Beverly's toughness on defense particularly.
Here is Bryant, following the score by Trevor Ariza. Bryant is doubled, and it's Russell in the corner. And George kicks to Turner. Shot from the wing. The Rockets pull it in.
And going back to the one thing with Patrick Beverly, his shot could still be more consistent. Last year, he was down in shooting averages across the board, including just 38% from the field. It makes it very difficult on your offense when you have an inability to space the floor.
And it's slammed in by Turner.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Everyone understands the importance of Paul George to the ball club. That's why taking his offensive game to the next level would be so beneficial.
Yeah, he has all the physical tools, the instincts, and obviously he has made those strides. But if he wants to become a top 5 guy, he's still got a little bit of work to do in terms of his game.
Houston making a switch here. Anderson's checked in. Nene, it's good. The assist that time from Harden. Nene's got his second bucket of the night.
I'll tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Now, here is Russell. He hasn't scored yet, but I'm sure will change.
For my man PG, Paul George, so much focus has been on extending his range, but ever since he started launching over 5 3-pointers a game, he's shot under 43% from the field. Maybe time for him to balance out that shot selection.
Harden against George. Launches a 3. Bryant with the rebound. Los Angeles leading by 8. Now the feed to Russell. And the Lakers tack on 2 more.
And guys, talking about Paul George, the continued improvement of his ball handling is key to generating more offense. That was a weakness of his coming out of college. He's worked on it, but making it a strength the way LeBron has would go a long way toward getting him to that next level.
The Lakers with the ball, following the score by Houston. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. A big part of the problem for the Lakers last year was consistency. Clark, with all their injuries, they had to shuffle the lineup, it seemed, every game.
Well, you know what happened with all that shuffling was they got to see a lot of different players and evaluate them for the future. I think it helped in regards to what they're going to do this offseason.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Nance is checked in. Houston also making some changes. Capella's checked in, and it's Brewer in for Trevor Ariza.
And for the Lakers, obviously the big get for them was landing the number 2 overall pick in the draft. Getting a quality big to add to a roster with Kobe is huge. It made them a player, again, I believe, in free agency.
Los Angeles leading by 10. Russell, this is to George. Back to Russell. On the wing, George. To the middle. And slammed in by Whiteside.
You could not diagram a better way to open a quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the lead they've jumped out to already. What a start. And, you know, when it comes to the Lakers, they're always going to be players in free agency if they have money. It's still a marquee franchise in the NBA, one of the top 2 or 3, no doubt. When you have high draft picks and money to spend, people want to play for you, and not to mention California is an attractive destination. Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting.
Well, there may be some questions for a while about D'Angelo Russell. People will guess which position he's best at in the NBA. You and I saw him firsthand playing for the Bucks. I mean, he is a terrific talent.
Yeah, he really is. I think he's an old-school guard, Kevin. He can play with the ball and be effective, or he can play off the ball. He's got a really bright future. Loved watching him play and grow as a one-year college guy at Ohio State.
Larry Sanders is checked in for Whiteside. Lakers leading by 10. The drive by Russell. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. Now when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this. For his career, 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Control the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
They're in the position they're in right now, thanks in no small part to the show that he's putting on in this period.
Capella with the bucket.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
George, no good. Rockets trail by 10. Here's Brewer. He shoots again, and the rejection by Sanders. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Russell passes to Bryant. Kept alive. Another shot. The shot misses. Bryant against Gordon. Shoots from the right block, and Beverly finishes it off. Beverly's got it back down to single digits for the Rockets.
And both teams on fire from the opening tip.
Well, I don't doubt it, Greg. We're going to have an entertaining game of basketball here today. I think it's pretty obvious that's the case.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Lakers lead by 8. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Lakers.
And so far, these guys have done a fantastic job finding the opening man and getting some easy buckets.
They've also gotten into a nice rhythm from the three-point line early on tonight.
Lakers leading by 8. Avery Bradley is out there with Bryant. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Larry Nance. And it's Sanders in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the Laker 5. And Bryant kicks to George. Shot clock at 5. That is good. Bryant's got the first basket of the second quarter for the Lakers. Rockets trail by 10. Gordon dishes to Harden. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Last season for James Harden was easily his best yet. Finished second in the MVP race. Put up huge numbers with career highs in points per game scoring. Greg at more than 27 a game.
And also carried that Rockets team that dealt with a plethora of injuries, mainly to Dwight Howard. And second in the league in scoring, I mean, narrowly losing out to Russell Westbrook, who just went on a tremendous tear the second half of the season, and then also finished runner-up in the MVP race.
And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
Not a problem. First turnover of the game, but overall, I like how they're taking care of the basketball.
Gordon against Allen. Moniunas with it. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Just 5 to shoot. Harden the pass to Moniunas. No luck. And it's the Lakers the other way. They've held a 12-point lead earlier.
And for Harden coming in second in the MVP race, he had a lot of first-place votes, and nobody knew if he or Curry would win the award. In most other seasons, he would have won the MVP.
Ariza with the bucket.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that was a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he's on the money, that's no doubt. Outside, George. There's the bucket. Good.
And for Harden last year, he could have easily have won the MVP, probably would have in other seasons. His big talking point for the award was how he carried the Rockets on his back. And he might have been the most valuable player to his team with the performances he had last year.
Moneyunas, no luck.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And here's George for three. George missing again.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those two in the first quarter.
Back to Ariza. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Moneyunas.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Michael Beasley. He's checked in for Nene. Lakers leading by 7. Bradley kicks to George. Shoots. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That one is on Beasley.
You know, no doubt last year a bit of a loss for Paul George. I mean, he had to sit out most of it after that gruesome leg injury in the Team USA scrimmage.
Good on both. And thinking back on George's injury, still a very graphic image in everyone's mind, but he was able to bounce back.
Yeah, it was great to see him get some game time before the end of the season after that horrific injury. A credit to him working as hard as he did, as well as to the training staff that got him back to be able to play before the end of the season.
Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. It's Harden with the drive. Bradley with some nice D.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
And George kicks to Bradley. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Well, taking a look at Avery Bradley, his career's been kind of up and down, Greg. Started out in high school where he developed into one of the nation's top prospects in high school.
You know, it's a great point. And as a college freshman, really established himself as one of the top defensive guards in the country, won numerous awards, then enters the draft after only 1 year.
Timeout called the Rockets.
You know, with Avery Bradley, he was the 19th pick in the draft for the Celtics. The outlook for him was great, but then ball handling and shooting injury concerns flattened out his development. He had a hard time getting over the hump for a few years, but he's over it now.
And Los Angeles will go for a different look here. Whiteside's checked in for Turner. Sanders comes in for George. Ryan is checked in for Richardson. And it's Russell in for Allen. And it's Gordon penetrating. Pass to Harden. Ryan against Ariza. The pass to Moneyunas. Just 5 on the clock. Gordon. Here's Beasley. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Beasley's got his first basket of the night.
And, you know, getting back to Avery Bradley, he's been dynamite the past 2 years. He's finally found consistency with the mid-range jumper and plays a complete game of basketball. With just a little more seasoning, I really feel like the sky's the limit.
Rockets trail by 10. Ariza outside, and Harden wide open. He shoots. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
And guys, before last season, Trevor Ariza signing a 4-year, $32 million deal with the Rockets. Big free agent get for the team.
And, you know, they wanted to re-sign Chandler Parsons, Kevin, but with his departure, in comes Ariza, and Trevor is a quality replacement. I mean, a terrific wing defender, and he's a nice spot-up shooter as well.
Lakers leading by 7. Now Russell. 7 points in the game. And it's Bradley. And time on the assist by Russell. Bradley's got 5 points now this quarter.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
Here's Whiteside. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse for them.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. When you think of James Harden, you don't think much about his athleticism. His strength, though, is exceptional for his position.
Yeah, I think that's his greatest attribute. His ball handling's good, but it's his strength. He's able to run through contact.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles, Turner comes in for Larry Sanders. And it's George in for Bradley. And then for Houston, Capella's checked in. And it's Anderson in for Trevor Ariza. Here's George. That's in, coming off an assist from Bryant. Bryant's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one.
And Harden able to get wherever he wants on the court. I mean, he can muscle you, but he's also got that Euro step and all those moves that just leave you in a dizzy.
That's good.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips now on the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
No good from Beasley.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle, and that's held true in this one so far.
And Clark, their effort on the glass has given them the advantage, but it's also been the effort in general that's made a difference. You know, and Harden, you think about how elusive he is, but at the same time, he's a guy that seeks contact. I mean, he'll entice a defender to try and reach in, and a master salesman when it comes to getting those refs to blow the whistle.
Corey Brewer's checked in for Houston. Here's Russell. Puts it up off the inbound. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Shooting 100% in the quarter. They've made them all, taking full advantage at the line.
I tell you what, nice job making the most of their opportunities.
That free throw, no good. Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
A nice shot by Anderson.
Boy, they keep hammering away at them inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
There's a whistle. It's going to go on Corey Brewer. That's his first foul.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
Avery Bradley, he's checked in for the Lakers. Brewer with the steal. Beverly against Bradley. And that one's good. Beverly. Here's Russell. He's got 8. There's 1:54 left to play here in the half. Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Rockets trail by 9. In the corner, it's Brewer. No one near him. Cannot hit.
They are really getting the work done inside with their rebound.
The defensive backcourt has been controlled. They have not allowed a lot of second chances. It's been about one and done for the most part. And I'm not talking about leaving the college.
Yeah, I know you're not. That's a bunch of good rebounding taking place there, boy.
Anderson, a screen on Russell. Out to the wing from outside the arc. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. They won their last game against the Rockets in Houston.
In the last meeting of these two teams, they were really sharp defensively, disrupting the flow of their offense and causing a ton of turnovers.
Very satisfying performance, Greg, and one they'll look to repeat tonight. I mean, they ended up winning it going away. Just a fantastic game for Bryant. 10 points and 8 dimes.
And he's really put together a nice combination of points at the free throw line, but also getting the assist.
Can you say fundamentals clinic, guys?
The Lakers making a switch here. Allen's checked in. Beverly dishes to Anderson. Feeds it to Brewer. Passes to Beverly. 6 to shoot. He kicks it to Capella. Ring shot on the way. Off the left rim and out. Lakers leading by 13. Bryant drives in. Outside, Russell. Back to Bryant for three. The shot will not go. And it's Houston the other way.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Beverly, the pass to Capella. The dish to Beverly. Launches a three. The rebound by Turner.
Oh, that's a tough three-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Well, he'd have to be really good to knock down a shot like that against that kind of defense.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Lakers on top, up by 15. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. I've got Kobe Bryant. And Kobe, tell us what's working for you guys defensively right now.
Well, keeping them out of transition, really. I mean, that's really been the big key this half.
Kobe, we appreciate the time. Gentlemen, over to you.
Thank you, Doris.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He had 18 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. First 2 quarters from him were fun to watch. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Lakers. And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
Ernie, I'm going to hit you with some Spanish. Reason number uno why they're being blown out is their poor reboundion. Is that right? Reboundion? I don't know. Rebounding, whatever, however you say it. They're just not battling. Where's the fight? They've had way too many one-and-done positions.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get under.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
You know, we talk so often about making your teammates better, and his ability to see the floor and then make those passes on time in that first half was the key.
Boy, I tell you what, they say he's not a playmaker, but he certainly has fooled me with the way he's performing right now.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. So on the floor for Houston, Harden and Ariza filling out the... perimeter. Beasley out there with Nene, and it's Beverly in at the 1 spot. Los Angeles leading by 13.
And guys, Patrick Beverly, a perfect fit for the Rockets alongside James Harden. You know, Beverly is in that complementary role as a 3 and D guy. And remember, also, even though he's the point guard, he doesn't need the ball to be effective. He's good at just spotting up for threes, and he's a hounding on-ball defender.
And Beverly plucked out of Europe by the Rockets. Clark, he signed a new contract this past offseason.
And a nice value for the Rockets, Kevin. I mean, he's a player whose impact on the game really transcends the stat sheet. That's often the case for those guys that are all defense caliber players.
The drive by Russell. Excellent D there from Beasley.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Beverly against Turner. Now here's Beverly, guarded closely. 6 on the shot clock, and it's blocked by Whiteside.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Rockets trail by 14. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Beasley the screen. The three from Harden. And it's Whiteside with the rebound. Whiteside's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Count that one. And 12 points for D'Angelo Russell.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
Now a timeout called by Houston. And Hassan Whiteside of Miami had the breakout year of all breakout years. Clark, he blew up in the right way last season. Averaged a double-double over 48 games.
Yeah, and great to see for Whiteside because he did have some issues prior to the breakout year, and it's nice to see him find his stride and produce with that awesome talent he has.
Larry Nance is checked in for Turner. And a change for the Rockets. Monty Eunice is checked in for Michael Beasley.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Yes, guys, over that break, I was able to catch the message Houston's coach was giving to his team. He said their plan was run their offense through James Harden. Coach detailed the ways to ensure he's the one in charge out there, with the ball in his hands and the rest of the players falling in line behind him. The next thing he talked about was the pace he'd like to see them playing at offensively. He wants it to be a fast-paced game, pushing tempo all the time. Coach was not wasting any time in altering their strategy here in the second half. And Kevin, he's going to have to hope those changes take effect quickly.
And thank you, Doris. Outside, Russell. On the wing, Bryant. Guarded by Harden. 5 to shoot. And Nance kicks to Whiteside. Whiteside missing again. Rockets trail by 10. Harden with it. George picks him up. Harden sets the pick for Beverly. Shoots the 3. Rebounded by the Lakers. Whiteside's got 5 rebounds tonight.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the board.
And you know what? No rebounds, no rings. And
Sublime stuff, guys. Absolutely sublime.
Clark, he's going to start putting on a show now.
and that's usually how it goes. Once they get that lead, it's almost like they give him free reign.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
Russell dishes to George. Back to Russell. On the wing, George. Ariza covering. Nance a screen. He lobs it up.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now, they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
Los Angeles leading by 12. George passes to Russell. And George kicks to Nance. Ryan against Monty Eunice. To the paint. Here's Whiteside. Power down with both hands.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Timeout called the Rockets. And last season, GA, as you were talking about, the injuries for the Rockets did pile up. Dwight Howard was out. Terrence Jones was out. They missed those guys for multiple games.
Yeah, and that hurt them inside. But also, remember, Beverly goes down right before the playoffs. So, in all, the Rockets had 180 missed games on their roster due to injury. Amazing they stayed so resilient and were able to capture that 2 seed.
Turner's checked in for the Lakers. Anderson's shot is off.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
Russell kicks to George. And that one is hammered home.
Oh, they are putting the hammer down. A huge lead right now.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about their offense or their defense. I mean, it's all been good. Kevin, he's been a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team.
He dishes it to Bryant. And it's Russell in the corner. That's in, coming off an assist from Bryant. 14 points for D'Angelo Russell.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. On defense, the Lakers. 16-point lead, the largest margin in the game.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
And it's Turner finishing it off.
This is a nice third-quarter surge here. They've got it going right now.
And a perfect time to get hot, just as we get into the meat of the second half here.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Good on the shot. 18 points for James Harden.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
And you know, guys, Eric Gordon was an unbelievable three-point shooter last season. 45% from behind the arc. The first time he's been over 40% in his career.
Rockets trailed by 19. Russell kicks to Bryant. Stolen by Anderson. George against Harden. Got a piece of it. Turner with the steal. Here's George. Finishes the break with a slam.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Gordon. Here's Harden. The shot no good.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
And the technical free throw is good. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Sanders checked in for Turner. Allen comes in for George. Richardson, he's checked in for Bryant. And it's Avery Bradley in for Russell. And a change for the Rockets. Beasley's checked in. Timeout called the Lakers.
I think he just sees some things that can be improved and wants to get everybody back on the same page.
And usually that, to me, is a good use of the timeout. I mean, if there's something that he's noticed that can give his team a lift, I think he's got to try to take advantage of that.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. They get it again. Here's Richardson. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Los Angeles on top, ending the third quarter with a huge surge, an 18-6 run. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. And for the Rockets, they're shooting in this game 45%. Sanders is out there with Larry Nance. Then it's Russell. Then there's Allen. And it's Bradley in at the 2 spot. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. High arcing shot.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Off the pick. That one a little long.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Beverly dishes to Gordon. Here's Beasley. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Beasley's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Rockets. Los Angeles leading by 20. Outside, Russell.
And in today's NBA, it's all about spacing on offense. It used to be more about finding matchups to exploit. Now it is all about opening up great looks by spreading the floor.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Beasley with a screen on Bradley. Gordon with no one around. And the shot no good, a bit short.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Yeah, come on now. You got to remember it's a team game. He's got 4 teammates out there with him. I don't think he needs to try to do it all by himself like that.
Russell kicks to Bradley. 6 to shoot. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Here's Sanders. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beverly. The Lakers making a switch here. Whiteside's checked in.
Whiteside.
We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Russell kicks to Whiteside. The drive by Russell. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Russell's got 4 points in the quarter. And with great spacing in the NBA, you need great shooting. More than ever, shooting and spacing, Clark, are at a premium in the NBA for teams.
Yeah, well, it starts with point guards being able to break down defenses and get into the lane to create open shots. You want to be able to create space for the point guards to drive, but you need shooters on the wings. And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
That's how you drive your point home.
I tell you what, he's lucky on that one that he got away with maybe not picking up a tee.
And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Turner's checked in for the Lakers. For the Rockets, LA has gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight and nailed 5 of them. Outside, Russell.
And over the course of last season and really the last decade, we have seen three-point shooting on the rise. Teams have been making the most of the efficiency of that shot, and it's a big part of successful offenses in the modern NBA.
And with the three-pointers, the best teams in the NBA are great, Adam Clark. All 4 of the conference finals teams from last year were tops in the NBA in 3.
Yeah, it's definitely a predominant stat in the NBA now, and you look at some of the numbers. Curry broke his own record for made threes in the season. The Rockets set the team record. It's a real part of the game that you have to be good at to succeed in the league.
It's Bradley on the wing, covered by Brewer. Outside, Russell. Fires from 14. It's rebounded by Houston.
I mean, look, no one guarding you. It's better to not pull up and try the leaner.
Dishes it to Brewer. Kicks it to Moniunas. 5 to shoot. Houston needs to get a shot off. The Rockets again can't hit.
And he has slipped into a funk, Clark. You can see the confidence is shaken.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's very much deflated. The basket looks a lot smaller to him at this point, and the only way you can get out of it is to work yourself out of it.
Here's Prigioni. Here's Decker. Gets the jumper from the corner to fall. Here's Russell.
Well, we all know that #1 overall picks are incredibly valuable. I mean, they can change the course and face of an entire franchise. Last season, the playoffs were full of teams that featured #1 overall picks.
The Rockets have gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. Moniunas has the open look. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Whiteside's got 7 rebounds in the game. Outside, Russell. Left side, Bradley. In the corner, it's Whiteside. Shot clock at 6. Whiteside, Russell. And again, no good by the Lakers.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the deep.
The 11-footer. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Lakers leading by 23. Outside Bradley from the arc. Shot is off. And Houston the other way now. Here's Prigioni. Low block shot. Allen with the rebound. Lakers have gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the third. Pretty cold down the stretch. And again, the Lakers no good. Rockets shooting just 30% from the field here in the fourth. Prigioni kicks to Moniunas. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
And the Lakers with some changes. Larry Sanders is checked in for Whiteside. Nance comes in for Turner. And it's Richardson in for Russell. LA has gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Timeout called the Lakers.
Well, the game's getting bigger, going international. But at least in the U.S., it really seems the game is going indoors. Back in the day, the legends of the game still played on the blacktop. That's becoming a thing of the past.
Brewer is checked in for James Harden. Bradley against Ariza. Allen for 3. And the rebound goes to Nene. Nene's got his 4th rebound in this one.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Lakers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance. Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah, I like that. And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
And by making sharp in-game adjustments, they've really taken control of this season series, guys. This win tonight will move their record to 2-0 with 2 left to play against the Rockets.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for George. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Screen by Sanders. Richardson. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good. And the Lakers lead by 20. And speaking, Clark, of playground basketball, why do you think that is, that the players are going indoors?
Well, I think one reason is playing on hardwood is nicer. It's easier on your joints and safer overall. The game has changed and it's big business now, but there are still plenty of weekend warriors who get their hoop on outside.
Just 5 to shoot. Here's Beasley, and Houston again with the bucket.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Now here's Richardson. Bradley kicks to Richardson. Off target from outside.
Outstanding perimeter defense there. That was a well-contested shot.
Yeah, and you know he takes a lot of pride in his defense. There are no easy threes if he's on you.
And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
Yeah, they were clicking in every way. I mean, all cylinders go. No question about that. And once they pulled away, they didn't let up.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Kevin, thank you. Kobe, obviously a great win. You guys played formidable team defense out there.
We did a good job controlling the pace. You know, they made some tough shots from the three-point line.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George. He had an outstanding third quarter. Whatever they needed in terms of energy and offense, he was the firepower that propelled them during the second half.
Well, Paul George showing us again tonight why he is one of the premier wing players in the